Part of the Btm product family, Corrubit is a corrugated bituminous roofing material and comes to the forefront due to its workability and lightweight. Corrubit is not affected by high temperature differences and is eligible for use in severe climatic conditions in different regions. As Btm Corrubit boards are easily applied in such different roof constructions as wood, steel, or reinforced concrete, as well as on building facades and curvilinear surfaces, they have a flexible and broad area of use. In case heat-proofing is required on the roof, then Corrubit, which may be applied with heat-proofing materials, comes to the forefront due to its resistance to chemicals in the atmosphere and UV light, its durability against frost and icing, its firm and long-lasting composition, workability, and lightweight. Let us now see all together how to perform the correct applications. It is useful to check all the necessary implements and tools prior to application. Before starting the application, some issues must be determined at the point where the application shall take place. First, the slope of the roof must be determined, and one must make sure that the purlins are nailed on the rafters at intervals suitable for the slope. You may refer to the Corrubit application guide for correct intervals and slope degrees. Upon the determination of the intervals, attention must be paid to the fact that such areas as chimneys, ridges, valleys, etc. must have been covered with wooden material. As it is not determined where the installation shall start in these areas, attention must be paid to the fact that there must be wood under the nails to be driven. If they are to be applied, rain gutters must first be installed. Upon the completion of the rain gutters, valleys, if any, must be covered. Once troughs have been measured, a Btm polymer bituminous waterproofing membrane, mineral coated in the proper color, must be cut and applied to the valley. Upon the completion of this process, boards may start to be applied. In order to maintain the alignment of the boards and to be able to perform a regular application, a guiding line must be established on the roof. The line so drawn shall also determine the distance of protrusions beyond the eaves. Boards must be respectively placed by leaning them to such a line. Attention must be paid to 7 centimeters, which is the maximum distance of protrusion. Before starting to place the boards, the direction of wind must be determined, and application must start in the downwind direction. Otherwise, the wind may lift the edges of the boards. Boards must be placed in a sequence, and special plastic cap nails must be driven. Nails must only be driven on the rises of the corrugations. Corrubit boards must be nailed at the rise of each corrugation at the eaves and board seams. Nails must be applied in a staggered manner at other parts of the board. Boards must be nailed by proceeding from both sides to the middle. Thus, the board's width shall be prevented from increasing. As the application progresses, the boards will have to be cut. Cutting operations can be performed either by a utility knife or a saw, or electric cutters. Before performing the cuttings, marking the places to be cut by means of a floating rule will make things easier. Boards cut to proper sizes are placed on the roof and nailed just like the other boards. Wooden catwalks may be placed over the boards during the application. Laths must be placed around the chimney to form a trough on both sides and the back of the chimney. To determine the alignment of the laths, first Corrubit boards must be, and then the laths must be aligned to fit into the valleys. And in the back of the chimney, the space between 2 laths must be joined by another piece of lath. Once the laths have been installed, the boards under the chimney must be installed and the periphery of the chimney must be insulated by applying Btm polymer bituminous waterproofing membrane. During the application, attention must be paid to the fact that the waterproofing membrane should overlap the troughs under the chimney. Upon completion of the first coat, the second coat must be applied with Btm polymer bituminous waterproofing membrane in the proper color. Upon the insulation of the periphery of the chimney, boards may continue to be nailed. At the chimney edges, boards must be nailed into the laths placed under the trough. If so desired, the chimney may also be made waterproof all around by bituself self-adhesive bituminous tapes, with the upper surface coated with colored aluminum foil. The periphery of the chimneys and the laths must be covered with bituself in the proper color. Bituself must be applied in order to cover 20 centimeters of the chimney. Upon this operation, boards must be placed and a second cover of bituself must be applied from the boards over to the trough. Once all the bituself application has been completed, boards must be nailed into the laths remaining underneath on both sides of the chimney. As performed after each waterproofing application on vertical surfaces, aluminum counterflashing must be placed on the waterproofing materials remaining on the chimney and supported with a long-lasting mastic. When one reaches a wall adjacent to the roof, if any, boards must be terminated at the bottom of such wall. Then the wall bottoms must be finished by the application of Btm polymer bituminous waterproofing membranes coated with mineral in the proper color. An aluminum lath must be placed on the waterproofing membrane remaining on the wall surface and supported with a long-lasting mastic. When one reaches the sloping trough section, boards must be placed by leaving sufficient margin and must be regularly cut by marking with a floating ruler once all the boards have been placed. Boards must be terminated as close to each other as possible at roof edges, and once all the boards of the ridge area have been placed, the ridge application must be started. Before covering the ridge, self-adhesive bituself must be applied, and the whole ridge must be insulated. Upon such operation, the ridge components must be applied and placing from the eaves upward. Finally, the tip of the ridge must be trimmed to the trough and the roof. Roof edges must be completed by means of side covering boards. Boards must be placed over the gutters in a regular manner and attached both on the roof edge and on the roof by means of plastic cap nail. When one reaches the horizontal ridge section, the side covering boards must be overlapped and regularly trimmed. Also, in the horizontal ridge application, self-adhesive Btu-Self must be first applied and then boards nailed. Horizontal ridge boards must be fixed by nailing over each trough. Btm Corrubit boards are a waterproof, easy to apply, maintenance-free, and practical roofing solution with high resistance and mechanical durability.